Okay, so if you're new to the custom firmware scene, let me guide you through on using the cable. So once you've got the cable in to your PC and set up the driver, you just go onto the Windows Start, press right and then left click Device Manager, go down to ports, you see prolific USB, that's always that cable, it's prolific USB, COM6, so that you can then use that in your programming apps. Like K5 programming is already set up for COM6, just use the drop down there. When you're pushing in the programming plug, push it in firmly, as you can see here. If you don't, it's not going to flash or read or do anything. So firstly, let's read the configuration from the EEPROM. This takes a little while. We'll save it, create a new folder. It's my IJV radio. If anything's to go wrong, then you can bring it back to life or bring it back to how it was within using the IJV. So next we'll read the calibration from the EEPROM. That's much quicker. Save it in the same folder. So that's our backup of the EEPROM. Just clear that. So now we need to turn it off, hold the PTT button, the big button, and switch it on. This will be firmware mode. So no display and just the LED on top on. Now we can choose our firmware, which is the Fagci Reborn. This is the latest I could find on GitHub. So I will do a package of the tool, this firmware, and a driver which should work with most cables, even the ones with the clone chip. If you come onto the forums, I'll put it in the download section. Leave a link down below to my website. So you can see here the LED is flashing while it programs, and the display should come on in a minute once it's finished. Still going through, still writing the flash. And what I noticed is it does a VFO reset. Normally you do a VFO reset on your radio when you put a new firmware on, but this seems to be automatic on this. You can see here. Just finished doing that VFO reset. Okay, so you've just programmed your radio with Fagci Reborn, you've taken your cable out, and this is where you're starting out at. So what I like to do is turn up the brightness and set the backlight to be permanently on. So let me show you how to do that. It's a long press of M. So you get into this menu here, settings, go down, we'll take a look at the menu in a minute, to brightness, press M, then take it to 10. Press M again to save it, and then go down to backlight time. Press M once more. You'll see your options for timeout. I like to have it on permanently, so press M, then exit out. So that's your backlight done and your backlight time to permanently on. Okay, so let's take a quick look at that menu. So press M and hold it. So the start was up converter, not sure about that. Still learning this firmware and letting you know where I'm at the moment. I'm just taking you through what I've learned by using it. So the main app is the run app. Squelch open time, squelch close time, scan signal frequency time, scan listen time, scan after close time. We've already looked at brightness and backlight time, backlight squelch mode, filter bound, and beep. Battery calibration. So if you want to make sure what you're seeing on the display is matching up with the battery itself, then you can go in and change it by taking the battery out. You read the voltage with a multimeter, then set it up through here and save it. If you want to see how that's done, then just let me know. I can show you that. So exit out of that. Battery type. So obviously you've got bigger battery versions. You've got your 1600 milliamp hour, 2200 milliamp hour, and 3500 milliamp hour. So that all changes depending on what battery you're using. Exit out of that. Battery style is your display, so plain, percentage or voltage. You can obviously percentage shown at the moment. Exit out of that. EEPROM type. I have to look into that. I don't think that matters too much, but we'll exit out of that. So EEPROM reset, that's like clearing the radio. So let me show you, I'll just do that now. So it's just wiping the radio and starting again. So that means you have to go in and do the backlight and the backlight time again. Okay, so let's go back into the menu. Press M, short press. This is called Run App. So you go through the menu in VFO, VFO Pro, VFO Channel Scan, Spectrum Band, Spectrum Analyzer, Frequency Capture. So that's just scanning within a close vicinity, and that'll tell you if it picks up anything. You can then save that, but we're going to quit out of that. Loop, I believe that's sort of channels you've been looking at. You can access them through here. Scan list, so in Chirp you can set certain scan lists and set it just to search through those. Presets is interesting because that will help you as a beginner to know what them frequencies are. So broadcast FM, I think that's radio. Got your airband. So once you're on that frequency, it's telling you, say for instance, 2 meter ham. When you're within that frequency, it's going to show 2 meter ham. I think LPD is low power devices. PMR is your walkie-talkie. FRS. LoRa is the mesh-tastic stuff, I believe. The board is called LoRa on that. 23cm ham, and that's the N1. Okay, so let me show you how to enable TX on certain frequency ranges. So as you can see, pressing it now, I cannot transmit. So press M, go down to presets, press M again, go down to a frequency range you're legally allowed to unlock and use. So for me, I'm not a ham licensed user, I'll go to PMR, walkie-talkie range, press M again, go down to enable TX, press M, down to yes, press M again, and it's that easy. If I exit out now, you will see the red light and TX come up on the screen. I've tried it with my other radio and it all works, so good news. Okay, so let's look at these VFO screens. So the first 3 are VFO. I believe the first one is single channel. That is like an extended screen VFO Pro, like on the Spectrum side of things. And dual channel, I believe if you can use it. Then the second one here, VFO, is dual channel, which is probably what you're used to using. So we go into VFO, single channel. Then what can we do in here? I guess we can scan manually, automatic scan. And if you found a channel, you can save through here by pressing F. Exit will stop the scan. 0, if you press and hold 0, you're changing the modulation there. If you press scan, I believe this shows the frequency you've been looking at. So if we found a transmitting frequency, if you tap F in this mode, see you can set your receiving frequency, your transmit frequency, transmit offset direction, I believe that is, transmit power, your step, so your frequency steps, modulation, which we can do through the main screen anyway. You can do it through here. So BW is actually your filters for receiving. So you change that to wide, narrow. I'm not sure what the third one is. I know it's wide, narrow, and it shows like a small N. So we've got squelch type. That's new. Squelch level. So if you're new to this, squelch level is the higher you've got it set, the stronger the signal will need to be before you actually hear it. It actually comes through and turns off the squelch. So I normally have it about 2. And the last and final one is save. So press M and you can put that into whatever channel you want. You've got a massive 299 memories in this now. So 99 more than your standard firmware. So that's pretty good. So go to channel 1, press M. You'll see that frequency is showing there. I'm not going to name it. I'm just going to press M again to save it, and it's there. So we exit out now. So you can switch between VFO, which is your manual mode, and memory. So we've only got one memory there, but if we go back to VFO by pressing 3, so I believe, hitting any of the numbered keys lets you input a frequency. So I want to put in 123 megahertz, then the decimal point is flashing. Just press the scan button, it stops flashing, you can carry on then. So we're now at the frequency we just inputted. So I think that's pretty much all you can do within that. Let's take a look at this VFO Pro. Like an extended screen on the spectrum analyzers on Exumer. I think it's used in a lot of firmwares, that screen. So one thing I do know, if you press 8, you can highlight these boxes that are here and move through those. And you can make your changes by using your up and down keys. Exit out of that. 1 and 7, so 1 increases the frequency step and 7 decreases that. Pressing 5 lets you input a frequency. So decimal point, scan, press scan. So we're just setting that frequency. 0 changes your modulation. You can see that changing. 3, squelch level is shown there, so it's on 5. So 3 is raising the squelch level, and 9 is taking it down. So the squelch is now off. The same as if you press function 1. So and you can also save and set up a channel through here, which I've shown already. So that's your save screen. You can make all your adjustments. So once you've put a frequency in, or you're looking through this display, you can only manually go up and down the frequency you've set. It doesn't do an automatic scan from what I've seen so far. yeah, you can only do like a manual scan. Pressing and holding scan doesn't seem to do anything. So the third one on the list is 2 VFO, which is your dual channel. Press M to enter that. That's your layout. So that's your upper channel and lower channel. The upper channel is in VFO, the lower is in memory mode. That's your signal meter in the middle. So because I've enabled TX on PMR, we now have medium shown on the transmit, so you can change that the normal way. Pressing and holding 6 takes it from medium, low and high, from low, medium and high. The next one is your filter for reception, which is wideband, narrowband. And the next one is squelch level. Here you have your frequency step and your modulation. So most of the keys are the same. If I come outside that frequency, so to break the squelch, it's a quick press of F1. So F1 will break the squelch. We'll turn it off. Pressing and holding 2 changes from upper to lower channels, like so. Pressing and holding 3 is the same, VFO and memory mode. At 1 and 7, I believe on this. Yeah, if you hold 1, it increases the increments, frequency step, and 7 decreases the increments. A quick press of scan goes to like a screen where it saves active frequencies. If I can show you through here, so if I was to manually scan to 190 and then quickly press scan, showing that there. From here you can press the PTT button and go into the VFO Pro screen, exit out of that. If I want to delete these, just press 0, and to hold 0 deletes that list apart from the most previous frequency. Okay, so like IJV, you can also directly change the modulation by the keypad without going into the menu by holding 0, FM button, like so. FM, see it changing here, AM. Got SSB, your sideband. A new one bypasses that, BYP, and RAW. So to save a found channel, you can press F. Let me take you through the list. So you've got RX frequency, TX frequency, TX offset directional, TX power, your frequency step, your modulation. This is filters, so reception filters. So you've got your wideband, narrowband, and the other one, I'm not sure what that is. Could be narrowband minus. But that's how you would do your filters. Squelch type, it shows you what it's set at there on the bottom. So it's got a lot of different squelch settings on this firmware. Squelch level, so I'm 3, I normally have it around 3. And finally you've got your save. So if you press M, go down to a 3 channel, press M again, you see 118 MHz. I'm not going to name it. So just press M again and it's in on channel 4. If I want to delete that now, just press 0 and hold it. So that's pretty much how you use that screen. And then you can just exit out. You can also, if you press scan, go to that list. And if you push PTT, you can then go into this VFO Pro screen. So let's exit out of that. Okay, so this has 2 spectrum functions. There's spectrum band and spectrum analyzer. So I'm only going to take a look at one of them and I'll explain why. The spectrum band. So from here, it starts off on like a muted mode. So you have to hold and function 1. That switches it off. Pressing the up and down takes you through the frequency presets, like so. Pressing 1, a quick press on 1 changes the time, the scan time. So 1 takes the scan time up and 7 brings it down. You can also adjust the squelch by a quick press of 3 to turn up the squelch level here, or 9 to take it back down. So if I was to press 3, obviously it turned it off because there's no activity at that level. Like so. A quick press of scan takes you into that list again. From here you can move up and down, go into the activity you found. You can press 0 to delete, as I showed before. You can hit the PTT button and go into the VFO Pro, exit out of that, and if you press 0 you can go into the presets. Pressing F, it doesn't allow you to save from there, you'd have to use the VFO Pro screen. But what you can do is set up a preset frequency, like a scan range, so you can do a start, put your start frequency in, and then an end frequency. Obviously scan through that. You can give it a name, change the frequency step, modulation, the filter, squelch level, squelch type, gain. You can also enable TX, which I've shown already in a video. I'm not going to cover the spectrum analyzer at this time because it doesn't seem to want to turn off the squelch. Even after switching off it, when you first look at it, let me show you. It's easy to show you then. So if you go into the next spectrum analyzer, it says no listen there with the mute there. If I press and hold F1, that's now off. So there's activity there, and that squelch line is within that activity. I'll show you because I can raise it. It doesn't switch it off. I'm not sure if that's a bug, but that's why I'm not going to show it. It basically works the same anyway. You can't go, it seems to be stuck on whatever frequency you're on. You can move up and down the frequency manually, like so, which you can do on the other spectrum as well. But yeah, at this time I can't get it to actually turn off the squelch. It might be a bug, it might be something I'm doing wrong. This is all stuff I've learned while using it, so I'm just sharing it with you because I've not seen any. There's so many videos on YouTube of this, but they're not really showing you how to use it, so I thought I'd get on the case. I may not have covered everything because I'm still learning it, but I think it's enough to get you up and running. So if the video's helped, as usual guys, give it a like, share it, and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. And I will catch you on the next one.